They're coming out. They're coming. Oh, they're attacking me. Ooh.
I am James ALOFS. I left the big city to build an off-grid homestead on 40 acres of Canadian wilderness. This area of Ontario has giant ridgelines, deep valleys, and pure rivers. Black bears, gray wolves, mountain lions, moose, and many forest spirits share the land. I started in November 2023. Starting with a modest 12 by 16 foot guest cabin, my goal is to build such a glorious homestead that I attract a magnificent wife, have 10 babies, and raise an Irish wolfhound. Welcome to Wild Homestead.
You know, moose in the summer months, they feed almost exclusively on aquatic vegetation. It's much higher in sodium, aquatic plants, than land-based plants. And sodium is actually, people talk about, with humans, sodium being bad for you, but really it's because we oversalt our food. But in reality, sodium is a relatively rare element in nature, and it's incredibly important for all mammalian bodies. It's an electrolyte. Like most sports drinks have sodium, magnesium, potassium in them. These are all electrolytes, especially for your muscle function. Just so many critters on this lake. So we fished for about an hour. No bites. I was trolling. I was casting with this little silver spoon. The loons don't like that I'm here either. It's called a little Cleo. And I was getting almost a bite every cast in the river that runs through my property from brook trout. So brook trout are the only kind of predatory sport fish in this lake. So I think next time we're going to go up to a bigger lake that's just past this one that has multiple species. It's got pike, it's got bass, it's got walleye. So we're going to try that one out. This kayak is not great. It's very hard to control. It's much better than wading in, but I think some of you guys may have noticed at the end of my episode last week, I ordered, it's a 10-foot, this is an 8-foot kayak. It's a 10-foot kayak. It's much wider than this one. It's got a strong keel. It's designed specifically for fishing. Ladies and gentlemen, the time for talking is over. The time for action and violence is here. As you may remember from last episode, episode 30, we have a hornet infestation in that top corner of the loft. They're coming in from the outside. They dive bombed me. I was unable to finish the last coat of the varnish on the back wall because of it. We also discovered upon further inspection that there's a gigantic mega death spider up there. So we are going to go in there and eradicate all of them. The CIA has instructed me to exterminate these bugs with extreme prejudice, and we will do so. I have talked to the local logistics arm of the U.S. Canadian armies. Unfortunately, they are completely out of both Agent Orange and napalm. However, in the comment section of episode 30 of the last YouTube video, people have instructed me that soapy water will immediately eliminate wasps. They are extremely not tolerant of them. Pray to all the gods for me, both the old gods and the new. I got my thickest pants I own. I got my thick boots. Got my thick gloves. Got the bug netting. I got my thickest shirt underneath. Last time they were stinging me right through my cotton shirt to sting my back. So let's go. Enemy combatants spotted. There they are. Ooh. No sign of the mega spider.
Oh, there's multiple nests. There's multiple nests. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, they're coming out. They're coming out. Oh, God, they're coming out. They're coming out big time. Oh no. How did they build such a big nest? Ah! Ah! Oh, they're attacking me! Just come out of here, where am I headed? Get out of here! Some of them are out! Some of them are out! Bats! Keep the rate of fire up! They're trying to come back in. Gotta get the ones on this side. There's one more. Oh my God, that's exhausting. Oh my God, there's more coming in. They won't stop, wave after wave. Oh, they're coming back. They're coming back. Where are these guys coming from? Where are they coming from? Look at them. They're coming back for more. You sons of guns. Get out of here.
So my phone ran out of batteries. It stopped filming. But I kept spraying for maybe 15 or 20 minutes. They just kept coming up to that same hole from the outside. You can see I'm sweating. And I just kept blasting, just wave after wave after wave. So I don't know if it was actually killing them. I did see some dead ones on the floor. I saw 2 giant spiders. One of them I saw out of the corner of my eye. I just backhanded him, squished him. He's dead on the floor up there. I'll try to take a picture later. But the other one got away. But I think we did pretty good. There was 1 medium-sized hive and 2 smaller hives. Got them on the ground, pulverized them to smithereens with my boots, and then just took out all the other flying hornets in there. So, man, I haven't experienced that much violence since my 3 tours of duty in Vietnam and my 1 tour of duty in the Korean War. So, it's a tiring day. I think I might take a nap here and just recharge the batteries.
Dragonflies, where were you when I needed you? I had 0 air support in my battle against the wasps and the spiders. Where were you guys? Huh?
So this is the big test. This is where I got stung twice last week when I was just up on the step ladder, like right here. Now I went up there 3 more times, and the hornets or wasps were congregating on the inside where the nest was. It was so weird. They were all clustered up right where that nest used to be, and maybe they were starting to rebuild it. I don't know. But I took out a baton and I just started crushing them one by one. So I left them for a bit because they were taking off as I was doing that. And then I'd wait for them to come back. I went back up, crushed them, etc. So I think I got quite a few of them. I'm just seeing 1, maybe 2 flying around up there. There he is. Oh, got him. I'm not sure if that soap was actually killing them or just debilitating them. Because I've had to smush quite a few of these suckers. Maybe they're just out in the field, harvesting nectar or whatever that is exactly. I'm really not sure about the life cycles of hornets. Dive bombing me. They're dive bombing me up here. There's still 4 or 5 of them left. They're landing on my suit and trying to sting me. Thankfully, they can't get through. This ain't easy. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Beast. What a beauty, huh? Beast.
That's the biggest red pine we got. That's a beast, man. So this tractor is 67 horsepower. It's a beast. It's a beast of a tractor. Oh! These are the two biggest logs. So that's a 67 horsepower tractor. It could lift these. My other neighbor who was doing my driveway, when we originally tried to lift these with his, he's got like a 27 horsepower. It could not lift these. So this tractor is a beast. Beast. Guys, do you know what time it is?
This is gonna be a good one. Final episode of season 2. Oh my God. Dude. First cast. Are you kidding me? Dude. Look at that. Oh my God, it's a pike. It's a pike, man. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Whoa. Beautiful, man. Next step is to quickly dispatch the fish. Praise the gods. That's it, folks. A quick, very hard strike in between, just behind the eyes, on top of the head, and he's put to sleep forever. May the gods bless this fish, man. Beautiful pike. But first cast, that was a short trip. Let's get this guy back to the shore. Maybe I'm going to paddle around a bit and then get back to the shore and fillet this guy. I feel so blessed. There's nothing that makes you appreciate nature and the planet more than harvesting wild food, because you see where your food comes from. You're so thankful for the life of the animal, and you just want to protect the heck
out of these critters and the places they come from, because you see all of your atoms in your body come from here. There's no separation. If this is polluted, we are polluted. These are compatriots in life.
Nice. Northern pike. Beautiful. Beautiful fish. They call them the water wolf. Very aggressive predators. You can see the sharp, sharp teeth. Beautiful fish. Look at that. He was eating crayfish. Wow. There's 2 or 3 of them in there. Very interesting. Oh my goodness. That is delicious. Mmm. Good. Oh. Okay. Beautiful. Both. Yeah. Beast. Put them all the way over. Stickers. Go. Dude.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. That hummingbird sounds like a giant bumblebee. Holy cow. Silver bells, it's Christmas time on the homestead. I've been rereading Julius Caesar's The Gallic Campaign. Last night on the part about the Battle of Alesia. This was a battle between the Celtic Gauls and Julius Caesar and the Romans. And this was essentially the last stand of the Gallic Celts under their leader Vercingetorix. And they basically hold themselves up in this hilltop city called Alesia. And they were fighting off Julius Caesar. So there was like, I think about 80,000 Celtic warriors inside of Alesia. Julius Caesar had 10 legions with him, I believe, which is, roughly 60,000, 50,000 soldiers. And Julius Caesar actually builds a wall all the way around this hilltop fort. And he's besieging them, and the Celts actually organize a relief force to come attack from behind. So Julius Caesar gets the intel that there's somewhere around 250,000 Celts coming from his rear. And what he actually does is build a second wall, basically enclosing him between the wall that's encircling Alesia. He's got his 10 legions ringed around that, and then he's got a wall on the outside. And there's a part of this story where literally there are fighting 250,000 Celts on one side and 80,000 Celts on the other, sandwiched in this donut of like fortified walls. Absolutely mental. One of the most like craziest things probably that's ever happened in human history. And the blow-by-blow account of what's going on during this battle is just mind-boggling. If you've never read The Gallic Campaign by Julius Caesar, you gotta read it. It is absolutely mind-blowing in so many different respects, but the Battle of Alesia is well worth the read in and of itself. It's only a few pages of the entire book, but so many crazy things like that. You guys definitely got to check it out. What an absolute mess, man. This stuff just pops up so quickly. It's crazy. I guess the stuff where I'm trampling it down all the time, it stays down, but I just cut this like 2 weeks ago. I think by this point I've kind of figured out how to do this in the most efficient way that also gives the best seal. So what I've found over time is that when you're putting up the oakum into the slot,
you might do a single tap just to kind of get it in place in the center. But then you do boom, boom, 1, 2, 3 from the top angle down, and that kind of tucks the material down this way. And then you do boom, 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 1, 2, 3 from the bottom, and it tucks it back as well. And that gives this nice kind of neat rolled look on the outside, and it's in there really, really tight. And if you think like the gap might be a little bit bigger than usual, you can then go and do a final tap just on the outside to try to cinch it in anymore. But generally, if you do 3 taps here, 3 taps there, it's all the way in. Like tapping on the outside of this thing can't go in anymore. So I think that's probably the best way to do it. It was very hard for me to find info on the old YouTubes on how to do oakum in the right way when I'm just searching that basic term. Oh my God. Just got a call from the Irish Wolfhound breeder. The puppies were born today. Remember, I said last week that there was a bit of a conundrum because she had 2 dogs that she bred, 2 females, and she took them in to get x-rays last week or 2 weeks ago. And the result of the x-rays was that one of the mothers, the impregnation did not take. The second mother, the impregnation did take, but she was only pregnant with 2 puppies. So the one mother did give birth. And then, I've always wanted a male Irish Wolfhound. So she called me, she's like, listen, there might not be any males born. There could be 2 females born. So anyways, she calls me. She's like, the puppies were born and they're both males. And I just had a twinge of, this idea popped into my mind, which my sister had suggested. She's like, if they're both males, you should take both of them and call them Romulus and Remus. Wouldn't that be amazing? So I'm like, could I take both of them? And she's like, no. She's like, I've got a waiting list like 20 people long. She's like, I promised the other one to somebody else already. I'm like, okay, fair enough. It's probably a bad idea anyways, but good news, baby, good news. That means pickup should be in 8 weeks, which would put us in mid-October. Excellent news. I've just received an email from the window company. We can pick up the windows tomorrow morning. I am taking off right now. I'm going to head down south and I'm going to be able to pick them up and then make it back up here in one day. We got all 4 walls done. We did not do the gable ends. So we got up to the eaves beams on all sides. Now these 2 gable ends, we're going to have to do next week because you know what? We used all the oakum. So that was, I believe, a 750-foot spool of oakum. We've got like maybe 7 feet left. Oh, the only part of the wall that we didn't get is those 2 layers there. Otherwise, we got everything else. Check it out. Like you can really see everything. There's no sunshine. There ain't no sunshine coming through no more, folks. That's because of the oakum. Now, we've got to do the corners as well. What my idea is for the corners, there's some corners where, remember I rebuilt the walls back in episode 8 or 7 or something like that. So there's some things where there are gaps in the end. I'm going to plug that with a round piece of wood. But in terms of these corner slots, what I think I'm going to do is cut a piece of hardware cloth, like that 1/4-inch hardware cloth that we used on the bottom of the cabin. And I'm going to kind of wedge it in here and then coil up oakum, stuff it in from the outside, and then stuff it in from the inside. Because in our plan, oakum can be used as chinking just by itself. That's what Dick Prenicky did in his Alaska cabin built back in the 1960s. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using oakum as daubing or backing. And we're going to put the actual chinking, which I'm going to use a lime sand mortar mix, an old-timey one from the same restoration company, to mortar over all of these cracks. So there is that kind of, it's not like a cement, it's not hard, it's almost like a putty, because you mix in linseed oil, which keeps it kind of malleable, so that during the different seasons, when these logs expand and contract with different moisture and heat levels, it will expand and contract with it. It's not like a cement that just stays in one kind of state. But look at that, it looks really good. This, honestly, this oakum, on these logs that are now stained, it kind of gives me a ship vibe. It looks like very nautical to me. And it's looking really cool, man. Very painstaking work. My apologies that we couldn't do a lot of other stuff this week, but this oakum, man, 700 feet. That little, wedge that we're using to tap it in is like that wide. So to get 700 feet of the stuff in it's quite a bit of work.
We did the final red pine logs. We milled them up, and we're pretty much got enough beams now, I believe, to do our bathhouse edition. We got fishing 2 different lakes, 2 different kayaks. Wild Homestead Navy now has 2 ships. We are officially stronger than the Canadian Navy. It was amazing to catch and eat our first pike and fish here on the homestead. Of course, to even be able to do this chinking work, we also had to have our major Vietnam War style battle against the wasp nest, which then also enabled us to get out there and put the second and final stain coat on the east wall. We now have the logs all fully stained and weatherproofed, now with 2 coats on the entire cabin. And by the way, this is a week for wildlife, man. Rabbits, hummingbirds, river otters, loons, moose.
But the cabin's come together, man. It looks different now that all those gaps are sealed. I think it really looks better, and the bottom is sealed, right, with that 1/4-inch mesh. So we will see you next week. I can guarantee, force majeure aside, an act of God or nature aside, that we can do the windows next week. So see you next week on Wild Homestead. May the gods bless you all, both the old gods and the new. And remember, if you're ever feeling down in life, just remember this key phrase, which is 9 words and 12 syllables. Ooga, booga.